When you think of driving in Italy, of course you're probably thinking of Rome, Florence, Venice, and Milan. And in this video, we'll help you access all of these beautiful cities and more by teaching you everything you need to know on how to drive across Italy. To get a true sense of this incredible country, we think you need to travel to the smaller towns, traverse the incredible countryside scenery, visit coastal and mountain villages, and really go off the beaten path. Unfortunately, those are not always conveniently accessible by public transportation. That's why renting a car is the way to go, at least for part of your trip. It's a way of seeing another side of Italy, a way to get closer to local life, and let's face it, to get away from those selfie stick bearing crowds. However, you've probably heard horror stories featuring aggressive Italian drivers, impossibly narrow roads, and dreaded fines. So, first things first, get your international driving permit. It'll only cost you about $20 and 20 minutes at your local AAA office. You may not use it, but it'll save you a huge headache if you should have any issues on the road. Tip number 2, know your BENZINA from your GASOLIO. Make sure you know ahead of time what kind of fuel your rental car takes. Diesel is much more common in Europe, so don't assume your car takes gasoline. To make things a little bit more confusing, diesel in Italian is sometimes referred to as gasolio, while unleaded gas is benzina. If you're not sure, there will often be an indicator on your dash or on your gas cap indicating the fuel type. It's always best to ask at the rental agency ahead of time to be sure. Tip number 3, in some places there may not be a clear lane divider. That doesn't mean it's a one-way street. While many main roads in Italy will have a single solid line or dashed line separating lanes, in many instances, especially in more rural areas, two-way roads will not have a dividing line. Just do your best to stay to the right side of the road. Tip number 4, in many historic towns and city centers, roads haven't changed in centuries. They may be bumpy and extremely narrow, with barely enough room for a single car, yet these may also be two-way streets. Use caution as you may need to choreograph carefully with other drivers. Tip number 5, the default right-of-way goes to a vehicle approaching from your right, even if you're on a straight road. This can come as quite a surprise to an American driver. There are some areas where this isn't the case, indicated by a right-of-way sign. Tip number 6, know about the ZONA TRAFFICO LIMITATO or ZTL. You need a special permit to drive in these special zones, often close to city centers. You'll be fined every time you enter a ZTL, even re-entering the same one. And those fines can add up, so be sure to be looking out for signs. Some will apply at all times, others will only be active during certain times. And don't expect your GPS to know when you're in an active zone. So be aware and look out for signs before making a costly mistake. Before our next tip, if you're finding this video helpful, please drop us a like on the video to help others find this content much more easily. Our channel also regularly posts videos on great tips and tricks for traveling abroad across the globe, like how to get a round-trip ticket to somewhere like London for under $300. And yes, I said under $300, round trip. Please subscribe to learn more about our travel hacks. All right, let's get back into a few more driving tips for driving in Italy. Tip number 7, make sure to always note signs for parking. While a space may look free, it's always important to look for a sign next to the parking area. Some are restricted to residents only, or also for specific authorized vehicles. For timed parking, indicated by this, make sure your rental car comes equipped with a disco orario. That's where you'll indicate the time you parked to avoid a fine. Make sure you know how long you're allowed to park and be back in time as well. There are many nuances to Italian parking. For a comprehensive overview, you can check out our full guides at tripiamo.com. Tip number 8, if in trouble, look for red SOS phones. They are located about every 1.2 kilometers on most roadways. They have 2 buttons, one for medical assistance and another for roadside assistance. Tip number 9, in general, be prepared for a more offensive driving approach. Turn signals often mean the driver is going, not that they want to go. Tailgating is not considered poor etiquette, and hesitation might actually result in an accident. But don't worry, as long as you know the rules of the road, have a clear idea of where you're going, and stay alert, you'll be driving in Italy like an Italian in no time. That was just a quick overview of some of the top tips you should know before driving in Italy. That said, there is nothing quite like getting hands-on experience to gain confidence driving abroad. I know the pre-trip anxiety personally, as I never felt properly prepared when driving abroad in a new country myself. And sure, there are resources online, but none of them felt complete or were very dated. That's why we created Tripiamo. In addition to informative videos covering pretty much everything you'll need to understand as a foreigner in Italy, you'll have the opportunity to try our 360 POV driving tours that give you virtual practice driving in Italy, the closest you can actually get to driving before you're actually behind the wheel. This way, you'll know exactly what to expect as soon as you hit the road, and you'll actually enjoy driving, not be nervous about it the whole time you're there and even before your trip starts. Our guides have been built by travel experts and vetted by European driving schools. They cover everything from driving requirements to local etiquette to how to handle emergency situations, and even lots of ways to avoid unnecessary tickets and fines, which many foreigners wind up getting if they aren't prepared. So, if you found this video helpful, and if you want to limit your chances of getting tickets, and if you're looking for definitive confidence to drive abroad, you should definitely give Tripiamo a try. The best part is that you can complete everything in under an hour. Click the link in the description to access Tripiamo today, and we hope you have a safe and stress-free adventure in Italy.